Alrighty, we are live, and this is the fourth Q&A of the week, or I should say fourth weekly Q&A. What's up? It's Shankster94. Alright, now let me go to the watch page. Okay. It's not up yet. Come on. Stream's going, right? Wait, let me refresh. Come on. Okay, for some reason, when I go to my watch page, it's still frozen. Do you guys see me? Am I, like, live? Please answer that question, because the view page isn't working for me. My encoder's working. Well, your chats are still going, so that's good. So someone... Okay. Alright. So, I don't know what's wrong with my watch page, but your chats are showing up, and my encoder's working, so I could use... I usually use that to see myself anyway, so... And to see the chat. Okay, no problem. So, alright. So the first question I'm seeing after the hellos. So what's up, Dayon? What's up, Murat? You've been coming in like crazy the last couple days. Michael Fortes, Dylan Espinoza, Max Park, and whoever else joins in the next several minutes. All right. So the first actual question is, what is the hardest QTE for me in Resident Evil 6? Oh my gosh. It's just like, it's been a little while since I played Resident Evil 6, so I can't remember any off the bat, but I know there were a couple hard ones in there somewhere. Shoot. No counterattack QTEs really are hard for me. More like in the campaign, the event. I'm trying to think of the one that probably gave me the most trouble. Possibly when Ada is fighting the Ubistvo. There's like a sequence of QTEs within that. It's the only one I could really think of right now. Another hard one might have been the fight with Leon and Helena. I forgot the name of that underwater creature, but when they're like trying to stab it in the eye and stuff like that. Alright. Dayon231, did I see your uploads? No, I haven't yet. If you did it... Oh, now my watch page is going. But anyway, if you're... I know... I saw, like, all the uploads that you did, like, a couple weeks ago, maybe, but if you're talking about some brand new ones, then no, I haven't. Am I gonna play story mode in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom with Resident Evil characters? What do you mean by that? If you're talking about uploading videos about that, then no. They're not Resident Evil games. MP5 or MPAF? MP5. It's in the series a lot more, and it's a pretty prominent weapon in the series. Which game / difficulty is harder to beat? Remake's Real Survival, Zero's Hard Difficulty, or Code Veronica? Well, considering I just beat Code Veronica twice within a week, sort of, Code Veronica is like pretty much second nature to me now. Remake and Zero, on the other hand, I do not have a lot of experience with. I've beaten both of those games maybe twice, ever. So I do not know them very well, and I know for a fact that I never did the hard difficulties in either of those games. So I can't really give an accurate answer, but I imagine Remake's Real Survival will be harder than Zero's hard difficulty. Yeah, Code Veronica X playthrough, the first one, was really long. That's why I decided to do 30-minute parts instead of 15-minute parts, and it still came out to 13 parts. So if I stuck with the regular 15, you would be talking 26 parts. Oh, okay. Well, no, I haven't seen it yet, Dayon. I was busy today finishing the second playthrough of Code Veronica. Speaking of which, yes, I beat my second playthrough, and I did get the A rank. So, success. And I have to say, both... Okay, there are 2 subscribers that are actually watching me right now that are very informative with my Code Veronica playthrough, and I thank you guys very much. Specifically, it's Murat Balamza and Manu Castilla. Those 2 people have been giving me a lot of information for my second playthrough of Code Veronica. And almost everything you guys said, I did in the second playthrough. Murat, though, you were a little late with some of your comments, like today specifically, so I didn't show what you brought up in there. But Manu Castilla, I did manage to get the knife cutscene for Nosferatu. Alright, so back to the questions. Am I going to skip some Resident Evil games besides Umbrella Corps? Besides Umbrella Corps, as long as... in the main series and the spin-off games, not that I could think of. Someone earlier brought up like Resident Evil 4 on the mobile device. I'm skipping that. No. Besides Umbrella Corps, I don't think I'm going to skip any games. Unless someone brings a game title up that I do know for a fact I will skip. Which Resident Evil 4 boss... Which boss in Resident Evil 4 is harder for me to defeat? Del Lago or El Gigante? Because, yeah, the El Gigante is self-explanatory. The Del Lago, I believe, is the thing in the lake, right? In my personal experience, I think I would have to say the Del Lago is... God, I'm just experiencing Resident Evil 4 enough to where they don't give me too much trouble, but honestly, if I had to choose which one gives me more trouble... Okay, it's the Del Lago that gives me more trouble, because with the El Gigante, if its parasite is exposed, you could knife away at it, or you could shoot it with a more powerful weapon and get it done very fast. Del Lago doesn't have anything special like that, so yeah, the Del Lago is more difficult, probably. How would I rank all the main Resident Evil series titles? Like, the absolute main series. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Most to least. Most favorite is 2. Second favorite is 4. And then, let me think here. Then 7, I would say... See, I probably gave a completely different answer the last time that question was asked. So, I only know my top 2 for sure. But I would say 2, 4, 7... Revelations 2, 3, 1, Code, then finally 0, then Remake. Oh, I forgot 5 and 6. See, that's where I screwed up. That's kind of a tough question. So, 2, 4, 7... 5. Then Rev 2, 3, 1, Code, 0, Remake, and finally 6. So in the main series of titles, I think 6 is my least favorite. And my most favorite is 2. There we go. Okay, made it this time. Good for you. Thank you, Manu Castilla, for the congratulations on the A rank. I did it. Out of all weakest machine pistols, which one is completely useless in the series? The VZ61, the P90, or the Emma Box 50? So, in terms of firepower, the VZ61 in Resident Evil 5 is really weak. However, I found a better use for it. It is a great weapon to trigger 3-hit combos in, so I like it more. The P90 I didn't find so useless in Revelations, but the Emma Box 50 and 6, yeah, it's a pretty retarded weapon. So my answer to that is the Emma Box 50. Do I like Resident Evil 4's Mine Thrower? Yeah. I prefer not to use the scope on it, though. What is this? Oh my god, are you serious right now? Alright, give me a second, guys. This will just add to my timer. Which I forgot to set. Alright, well you guys probably just got 10 extra minutes with me. Good for you. Alright, let me see. Just give me a second, guys. I have to respond to a text that I just got my boss at work. Okay, so of course I lost you guys because of that. Oh, no I didn't. Alright, so reacted when X, they show the Resident Evil 1 rooms. Yep. Alright, so which Resident Evil game has my favorite version of Chris? Shit. Umbrella Chronicles. Because he's not roided up yet, but he doesn't have a cheesy voice acting either. Have I heard HD remakes? The alternate controls? No, I haven't. But I would probably rather stick to the classic controls. Dark Side Chronicles Steve Burnside return as a virus infectee? No. It would kind of be illogical. Chandler York, am I in a relationship? Not at the moment. What is my favorite machine pistol slash assault rifle in the whole franchise? My favorite machine pistol is probably the MP5. Assault rifle is the M4A1. Who is my favorite Mercenaries character for each Resident Evil game featuring it? So, in the original Mercenaries in 3, my favorite character is Mikhail, because he's the easiest to use. Resident Evil 4, Krauser, for sure. Resident Evil 5, Barry Burton. Resident Evil 6, Jake Mueller. And that's the end of Mercenaries, I believe. Best boss fights in 4, 5, and 6. And 4, in my opinion, it was Krauser. And 5, if you count this as a boss fight, it's your first, or I should say your second encounter with Wesker, when you need to fire rockets at him and then blow him up in his hand. and you need to inject him. That's my favorite boss fight in 5 because I like to beat the hell out of him a little bit before I do that. And in 6, unless you're asking a completely different question, which had the best boss fights? In that case, probably 4. But I'll just name my favorite anyway in 6. My favorite boss fight in 6 is, again, the final battle with Simmons, jamming lightning rods in his face. Alright. So, which explosive device is more useful? A proximity bomb, a decoy, or a remote bomb? The decoy is very useful in Resident Evil Revelations, that's for sure. Give you a chance to get away from some enemies and defeat them at the same time. Which Resident Evil 4 fight is harder? 2 Garradors, one of them armored, so you mean the Iron Maiden. So, 1 Garrador, 1 Iron Maiden, or 2 El Gigantes. I would probably say the Garrador and Iron Maiden would be harder. They're just more lethal overall. Once again, you expose an El Gigante's parasite and get a very powerful weapon out, you can defeat it pretty fast. El Gigante, they're harder to hit their parasite because they're not always turned around like that. You just have to get their claws stuck in a wall or something. Do I want Albert Wesker to return somehow? Not really. I feel like the characters they killed off should stay killed off to keep the series continuity. My favorite Mind Thrower, 4 or 3? Well, considering the 1 and 3 got me killed by a hunter, I'll have to say Resident Evil 4 is much more useful, and I favor it more. Have I ever been to Las Vegas? No, I haven't. I would love to go there one day, though. That's for sure. My favorite throwable grenade in Resident Evil 4, I would have to say the hand grenade. Just like explosions. And the flash grenade's only useful like if parasites are exposed, it seems. Or escaping in a crowd. Have I ever thought of owning a gun? No. There's not enough violence in my life to where I feel necessary to own one. And I'm pretty good at locking my doors. Which Resident Evil 6 campaign did I enjoy more? Ada's. Ada's campaign, specifically. What's up, Needy Shield? My favorite Resident Evil weapon of all time. The PRL 412. Alright, reached the end of the line. If I would join the BSAA, then which characters would I team up? I may choose 2 male and 2 female. Okay. 2 male characters, Chris Redfield and Josh Stone. 2 female characters, Jill Valentine and... let me see, what other female characters are in the BSAA that have been revealed? Okay. Well, I'll go with Jill Valentine and Sheva Alomar. Good for you, Dylan. And I figured you'd probably be in school right now. Because, yeah, it's not like 3 or 3:30 yet. If I had to guess, how long would I think it would take for me to get to my Resident Evil 4 playthrough? I'm predicting 2 years. Because after Code, we got Gaiden. That will go by fast, actually. Then we got Survivor 2, which is based on Code Veronica. I've never played that before, so I don't know how long that's going to take. And then after that, we got the 2 games I'm dreading the most right now. Remake and Zero. I'm not dreading them because they're bad games. They're not bad games. I'm dreading them because I don't have a lot of experience with them. So I feel like I'm going to miss a ton of stuff. And I'm going to need Marat and Mena Castilla to give me a bunch of info again. Which creature is harder for me to defeat? Crimson Head or Hunter in Remake? Crimson, or no, Hunter. Hunters always give me trouble, no matter what game it is, it seems. It's only in Survivor that I managed. It's only in Survivor that I managed to deal with them, but in Code Veronica, they're actually not as difficult as the classic games, but they could still give me trouble, especially the sweepers. But I'll just say Hunter on that question. What state do I live in? Yes, I live in the U.S., and I live in California. Yeah, totally not Leah and these other weirdos. Just go ahead and troll. You're not doing anything. What is my favorite side Resident Evil game? So you mean spin-off? If you mean spin-off, it's Outbreak. Harry Bowles, you just gave yourself a shout-out, and I don't know how people are going to react to that. But I only do shout-outs to people who do something for me first. So, I mean, I already kind of shouted out Manu Castilla and Marat because they helped me a lot for Code Veronica. But I can't do like a whole video shout-out. The only person I've done that for so far was Dayon231 because he featured me in one of his Tekken videos. So... Well, thanks for that, Manu Castilla. If you help me a little bit, that's fine. But you knew Code Veronica like your back of your hand. There's probably a subscriber out there who knows Zero and Remake like the back of their hands, and they'll probably help me as much as you and Marat did for this. But you can contribute any way you want. Had no idea Claire could get poisoned when playing as Chris. Yeah. Wyatt Chatrand, thank you for the donation you gave me in the, I believe, the third or the last live stream. You're totally awesome for that. Yeah, I got a few trolls on this stream. Whatever. Which Chronicles do I like more? Umbrella or Darkside? I would have to say I like Umbrella Chronicles a lot more. That's for sure. Primarily because I actually beat all of Umbrella Chronicles, and Darkside Chronicles I have actually never fully played before, so that's going to be interesting when I get to that. Do I think Ada will join the BSAA or the FOS? I'm not too sure about that. She seems very, she switches organizations left and right, so I can't really tell. What storyline do I want Resident Evil 8 to follow? Could follow 7 or something completely different? I don't know. I'd rather not speculate. I mean, it's clear that in 7, Lucas, the fact that Lucas disappeared, they could totally follow up with that somehow. And this whole third-party organization that was mentioned on the radio, yeah. My favorite Jill costume in the whole franchise. I'm going to say her classic Stars outfit. TJ, no, I have never played Alien Isolation. I don't play a lot of games other than Tekken, Resident Evil, Crash Bandicoot, stuff like that these days, unfortunately. You hope it's not first person? We'll see. I'm okay with the first person. It made it more scary, in my opinion. If a zombie apocalypse started, where will I go? I'm going to my nearest weapon shop. Do I think Leon should cut his hair? No, he should keep that style that he's been having. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, Nightboy. Which death in the Resident Evil series, story character deaths, so like main series? Oh, you mean like a death that... Not like a game animation death, but someone who died in the series. Which saddened me the most? Steve in Code Veronica, which I just witnessed 2 times already. Because that was a possible love interest for Claire. That could have gone somewhere. I swear, if they... I mean, that's one of the first times they killed off a more main character in the game, you know? Protagonist-wise. My favorite coup de grace in Resident Evil 6. That's a good question, actually. Well, there's only 8. Or is there 9? I forgot. But I'm going to have to say... I'm trying to think of the one that has the most range. Honestly, I like Leon's judo kick. And as Leon's coup de grace. It's like a judo kick or something. I like it a lot. And it's pretty fast, too. Besides the Smith & Wesson M500, my second favorite Magnum. I'm going to say... the 10-inch Desert Eagle in Resident Evil 2. Chandler, you come up with the funniest questions sometimes. But my favorite cheese? I'm going to have to say Monterey Jack. Alright, where are we on the clock? Oh, 44 minutes still. Simply because I forgot to set it 10 minutes in advance. Alright, so... Well, I could still end this at 3:30. I have the clock, but I'll give you guys the extra 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, Pierce was kind of upsetting too, but... he did a... He chose to die. There's the difference right there. The whole reference to Steve by Wesker in Code, I don't know if that would imply that he's gonna come back someday. I think they're just gonna use him for specimen, and that was already like 20 years ago in the Resident Evil timeline. So I don't know how that would be possible at this point. Okay, the whole Ada dying thing. Okay, I know it looked like she died, but if you paid attention, in the second scenario, she throws you a rocket launcher. So, no, she never dies. And the whole Carla thing in Resident Evil 6 doesn't count, because she's not Ada. My favorite Claire costume? I'll say her motorcycle outfit that you get in Resident Evil 2. Am I happy Wesker is dead? Probably. He's annoying as hell in 5. And, like, how can he return from that? But then see, it's cool that they still referenced him in 6 and Rev 2 by giving him some relatives. Win in a fight, Wesker or Jake? Well, considering you control Jake and you never really control Wesker unless it's a minigame, and Wesker just goes crazy, I think Jake would win, to be honest. In Resident Evil 2, do I like Leon or Claire's campaign better? I like Leon's more. He has more powerful weapons, and I feel like there's less backtracking in his. Do I think Leon and Ada messed around between games? I don't think so. Because Ada always just leaves Leon. Like, at the end of 2, 4, and 6. So, no. And if they really did, they would be a little nicer to each other, like when they first meet in the subsequent games. For Chris and Sheva, which outfits are best and which are worst in 5? Chris's best outfit, in my opinion, probably his heavy metal. His worst outfit, his warrior. Sheva, on the other hand, best outfit is tribal. And worst outfit, in my opinion, would probably be business. I know it's sort of referencing Hunnigan in a sense, but it just doesn't belong on her, it seems. Top 3 things that I'd want them to bring back in the Resident Evil 2 remake. The boomstick shotgun, or basically the ability to put parts on your weapons. Mr. X, well, of course. You can't remake Resident Evil 2 without that. But yeah, definitely the boomstick. So, okay, scratch Mr. X. Trying to think here. Damn it. See, I'm trying to think of stuff they could potentially get rid of, and the boomstick is definitely one of them. So, okay, I'll just go ahead and, okay, I'll stick with Mr. X. So the boomstick, Mr. X, and the scene between Leon and Ada kissing. Okay, it's... Well, considering you're not actually pronunciating my name, I don't know what you think that... Spelling-wise, no, you're not spelling it right. There's an E at the end, but there's also a Y after the A. So it's Shayne. Here, type it out for you. There. Alright, so the worst weapon description in the whole franchise, it's either the Glock 17 in Code Veronica, the modified one, because it says it's a modified Glock 17. It's a modified Glock 17. Or it's the Magnum in the original Resident Evil, because when it's loaded with ammo, it just says like Magnum rounds loaded or something like that. So it's somewhere along those lines. Resident Evil 2, the second game I've ever played? No. 3 was. I skipped 2 when I was very young. I did 1, then 3. I think 2 came after... I'm pretty sure 2 did come after 3. For me. See you later, political key. Who's more annoying? Ashley or Kid Sherry? Ashley! Ashley will always be more annoying than any other female I've ever seen in the Resident Evil franchise. Some people think Steve is more annoying than Ashley. I disagree with that. But, yeah, Ashley is just annoying as hell with those screams. Sherry didn't bother me that much, other than the fact that since she's a kid, she's slow when you're running with Claire, so you can't just run. But that's very minor, in my opinion. What is my weapon set when I play campaign in Resident Evil 5? I actually like carrying around a VZ61 to do 3-hit combos throughout the whole game. Shotgun-wise, I usually try to get the Hydra going. I don't like sniper rifles that much. When it comes to my powerhouse weapon, for sure the M500. So yeah, like in four weapons I usually have in my inventory. So the first one is the VZ61, and then I have the Hydra shotgun, and then I have the Smith & Wesson M500. As for my fourth weapon, maybe a more powerful handgun for like my primary, or would it be secondary? Am I a hopeless romantic? Probably not. 3 Nemesis remastered. Well, yeah, I'm totally looking forward to something like that. If they're going to remake 2, then they shall remake 3 as well. The first Resident Evil game I've ever played, and how long ago was that? It was the very first Resident Evil back in 2000. I was 6 years old. So that was, like 17 years ago. Well, Dallas, I just pretty much answered that question. Ashley is more annoying. Sheva's only annoying when she's controlled by the CPU. Because she wastes health items and doesn't use any other weapon besides her secondary. So, unless you say go. My favorite battle game character in Code Veronica, probably Claire alternate. Do I think Hunk will return? I don't know. Once again, I'd rather not speculate. Oh, sorry about that. Alright, let's see. Where are we at in the time? 34 minutes left on my clock. Alright. My top 5 least favorite characters. Well, my least favorite character of all time is Jessica in Revelations. Turncoat bitch. Second least favorite is Ashley. Third least favorite... See, I'm assuming you're talking about, like, controllable or more associated with the protagonist, something like that, because in the end, Jessica is an antagonist, but, I'm trying to think here. Steve's definitely not up there, for any of you wondering, but, so, yeah, Jessica, Ashley, and then, okay, I did it again. Thank you very much, Wyatt, for that. It always happens when I'm just, like, sitting there thinking, so it scares me a little bit. Okay, what did I say for number 3? I thought I gave a third person, but, I don't, you know, okay, Excella is definitely in the top 5 for me. Honestly, I don't like Carla in Resident Evil 6. It's really tough for me to answer top 5 questions like that. But I'm just going to go ahead and say Jessica, Ashley, see? I just forgot again. Screw it. I'm just giving you my top 2. Ashley and Jessica, or vice versa. Which character do I like more, Hunk or Nikolai? Hunk. Hunk's more badass than Nikolai. Nikolai. There you go. Nikolai is pretty annoying in the series. Glock 17 or the Makarov PM? Glock 17. The Makarov is weak. The Glock is more average, in my opinion. My favorite tyrant after Nemesis. Whichever one is in 0, if that counts. Is that like the absolute original? The T001, I think? No, Wyatt, I have never been to New York. New York. Ugh. I could... I mean... That is a possibility, Nightboy. After the Let's Plays, who knows what I'm going to do. That is a possibility, though. Oh, you're talking about it within the Let's Plays. Like, highlight all the deaths that happened to me. Yeah, I do think about that sometimes. what I'm gonna do after the Let's Play is maybe like a highlight reel or something, or like a speed run of all of them again, or whatever. Because yeah, I can't really do a compilation with all my Let's Plays like I did with my weapon and my melee move reviews. Yeah, though no. How do you unlock Claire's story in Resident Evil, like Resident Evil 2? How do you unlock Claire's story? It's there from the start. What are you asking? Why? I just said it like a few comments ago. My real name is Shane. Thank you, Dylan, for clarifying that for me, though, because I'm not all the way down there yet. Hunker Nikolai. Hunk. My first death in Resident Evil 4. Getting hit with an axe. Because back when I played it for the first time, I was probably only 10 years old, so I still wasn't that experienced. Do I have a real-life arch nemesis? Not really. I don't like making enemies. I don't necessarily try my hardest to be friends with everyone I know, unless they talk to me first or something like that. But I also don't like making waves. So can I do a 3-hour Q&A at some point? Yes, as a matter of fact, I plan for maybe number 10. I'll do an extended one or something like that. I don't know about 3 hours, but it'll probably be a 2-hour stream. A 3-hour stream would be more better fit for something like 50th stream, or a year of doing them, or the 100th live stream, something like that. Ubispo or Mutant Pedro? Yeah, because they use chainsaws. They're like the same creature almost when you think about it. But, well, what's the question, Max? Which one do I like more? Which one's harder? What? Which one do I like more? I like Ubispo more. But which one's harder? Probably Mutant Pedro. You enjoy that. I probably will have to watch that sometime too. I need to own the whole series. Do I want El Gigante to return? Considering he returned in 5 already, no. No need for him to come back. Although I know that the thing in 5 isn't necessarily called El Gigante, it's something else, but it's related. The hardest tyrant to defeat after both Nemesis and mutated Mr. X. The hardest tyrant to defeat. Probably want. See, this is why it sucks that I don't know Remake or Zero that well, because I feel like the only tyrants after Nemesis and Mutated X, in terms of the release date timeline of the series, would be Zero and Remake. I'll probably say Zero again. Favorite of the 4 standard Resident Evil 4 pistols? The Red 9, hands down. I didn't even need the other names to know that. Would I be willing to heavily or at least moderately use the TMP in the Resident Evil 4 playthrough when I get to it? Probably not. It's pretty weak, and I prefer to just stick with the handgun. Considering it's more powerful. I never, in my history of playing Resident Evil 4, I never found that much use for the TMP. The most terrifying sub-boss. Hoy. Most terrifying sub-boss. Probably the Gravedigger in Resident Evil 3. There you go. Is it worth trying to get an A rank in Resident Evil 3? Yeah, if you're trying to unlock costumes as quickly as possible, it is. Otherwise, no. There's no... Once you have all the costumes unlocked, or... That's the only thing rank really unlocks you in Resident Evil 3, is the amount of costumes. The rocket launcher is unlocked through mercenaries, so... Yeah. Which chainsaw-type boss was hard to deal with? Mutant Pedro. Am I looking forward to the new Transformers movie? A little bit. I mean, I own the whole series, so I'm definitely going to watch it regardless. I'm not answering that question. Which boss fight do I like more? Krauser or Wesker? I like Wesker's fight more, due to the fact that you can beat the hell out of him. I know you can't beat Krauser as much. You don't have a bunch of QTEs and stuff like that. Which cutscene is my favorite? It's when Leon and Ada kiss in Resident Evil 2. Which creature is harder for me to defeat? The Super Salvador or the Red Executioner? Super Salvador, in my opinion. He can insta-kill you. The Red Executioner can just put you straight into danger status, then kill you, but it's not like insta-kill. I mean, if you don't shake him off, and he throws you to the floor, then you may be screwed if you're not good with your Q2Es. But there's still a chance to dodge it. While the Super Salvador, if he hits you, you're done. I don't own a tablet. Well, technically I do. It's my laptop right here because it converts into a tablet. But, yeah. What platform of Resident Evil 6 do I play? The one that I did play when I was playing it a lot was the 360. But I do own it on the One now. I have yet to play it on the One. I'm probably saving it for my playthrough. Or for like one day when I'm finally ready to remake some of my intros in the new 60 frame per second that they offer. Something like that. That would be a side project one day for me. The second hardest Resident Evil game after Code Veronica. In my opinion, probably Remake. Because I didn't struggle with 4 or 5 or 6, even though they're really long. But they're chapter-based, so they make it easier on you. Most frustrated I've ever been playing a Resident Evil game. I mean, there were moments in my life playing throughout the series where I was just stuck on this part for so long. I can't remember them, though, because they were all when I was much younger. But I think one time I was stupid and I saved a game in Resident Evil 1 like with hardly any weapons left, and I was poisoned. And I was about to return to the mansion where the hunters show up. So I like bit the bullet and decided to restart the game all over again because I screwed up with that save. Alright, I'm losing you guys. So favorite of Leon's Resident Evil 4 outfits? I would have to say I like him using his classic outfit from Resident Evil 2, the RPD outfit. Samurai Edge or Wing Shooters? Samurai Edge, for sure. Which Resident Evil game has the best reward for getting an A rank or beating the game on the highest difficulty? Good question. honestly, I think Resident Evil 4 giving you the PRL 412 for beating professional mode is a great reward, because the PRL 412, like, overpowers you throughout the rest of the whole game, pretty much. So there's my answer to that. Beating Resident Evil 4 in professional mode. Have I heard that they are rebooting the film franchise? No, I haven't heard of that. We just finished it. Why are they thinking of rebooting it? Thoughts on it? I mean, if they're gonna reboot it, then they need to be. They needed. I want them to try to relate to the games a lot more. Like, I guess I'm not necessarily saying make movie versions of the games, because you just got game movies for that. But, like, just more similar somehow, you know? It kind of branched off after the second movie. Alright, I'm still not caught up. The worst rocket launcher for me in the whole franchise. The worst rocket launcher in the whole franchise. So that's spin-offs included. Huh. Struggling with this because there is a ton of games. I'll say the one in Outbreak, because you can't get it infinite, and you only see it like very, very briefly. The hard... Whoa. The hardest chapter in Resident Evil 6. I really don't know. It's been too long since I played it. And I have only played through the whole thing maybe twice. And there's a lot of chapters. And 4 different scenarios. So that is a really, really tough question. I want to say, the thing I can think of at the top is the whole sequence in Chris's campaign with the giant thing I forgot the name of. Alright, so, am I caught up yet? No. Alright, what is the hard, which DLC mission is more fun, Lost in Nightmares or Desperate Escape? Lost in Nightmares. It gave a more classic feeling within Resident Evil 5. In fact, I would have to say the Lost in Nightmares DLC is the closest Resident Evil 5 ever came to being more of a classic game. When I played the first couple Resident Evil games on my emulator, was I using a keypad or a controller? I was using a controller connected. So I was playing it like a PlayStation game, for sure. It was just on my laptop. You could say my laptop was used as my screen. Could I do a video review of Vendetta? Reaction? Well, I already watched the trailer. No. I don't think I'm going to involve the films like on my channel. At least not for a while. When do I think we'll... Well, I just finished the X playthrough today, Dylan, so once again, we got the editing process to deal with, and that's unpredictable, so I can't give you a specific time that it will be uploaded. Have I ever actually shanked someone? No, and my YouTube name or gamer tag has nothing to do with shanking, if you ever wondered. I don't feel like sharing that, Wyatt. That's a little personal. Watch your questions. God. Whose story do I enjoy more in Resident Evil 6? I liked Ada's more. I've heard of the band Slayer, but I don't listen to them. Creature is harder to defeat, Crimson Head or Leech Man? Leech Man. Crimson Head I can insta-kill by doing the successful count. Or, well, I could avoid the Crimson Heads if I just fire up all the zombies, but no, Leech Man is harder to deal with, in my opinion. M92F or the Red 9? I still think I like the Red 9 more, to be honest. I mean, the M92F is in the series a lot more, that's for sure, but I just like the firepower of the Red 9 once you fully upgrade it and stuff. Barry's Cold Python or the 10-inch Desert Eagle? The 10-inch Desert Eagle, for sure. Aside from her horrible voice, do I think Ashley is hot? A little bit. It's not the hottest character, though. Do I think the CGI movies are canon? Yes, actually. I love Degeneration. It's the only one of the CGI movies I have actually seen. I've never seen Damnation, and of course not Vendetta. But I do think they're canon, for sure. Will I be playing through Resident Evil 4 on professional difficulty? Yes. In fact, I'm already planning on playing Resident Evil 4 at least twice. Once in normal, once in professional. And then, of course, the mercenaries and all that, and all the other game modes. Which game's leech-type creature do I hate most? The Zero version or the Outbreak version? Outbreak, because he's more of a boss. Because he is a boss, sort of. Hand cannon or broken butterfly? Hand cannon, hands down. Leon with TMP versus Chris with taser. You mean the stun rod? Well, one has a gun, one has a melee weapon, so one has the advantage of distance. So, Leon? Which Resident Evil game isn't canon to the series? Operation Raccoon City, and I guess the public decided that Gaiden was non-canon, so Gaiden's non-canon too. And of course Umbrella Corps. But all the other games, main and spin-off alike, I think are canon. Or I'd like to believe are canon. Alright, come on. Am I there yet? No. Dang, you guys are asking fast. I can't catch up. How would I rate the coolness of Mendez' design as a boss? Well, considering they just split his body in half, this long parasitic connection, I'd say I'll give that a solid 7.5 out of 10. Favorite common enemy from the series? Zombies. I like blowing their heads off. Headshot! Which characters are my least favorite in Resident Evil 6? One male and one female. Least favorite female is Carla. That's for sure. Least favorite male character... I'm going to have to say Simmons. Simmons. Okay. Would I work for Capcom and give up YouTube if it meant they would let me work creatively on Resident Evil 8? No. Because I just feel like I don't have the creativity for my contribution to be worth it. I wouldn't be able to contribute much. I'm not very good at thinking on my feet and coming up with awesome ideas, to be honest. And losing my YouTube over it, yeah, it wouldn't be worth it. My week is going great, actually. The fact that I completed Code Veronica and got the A rank. And I'm on my day off today. Which Resident Evil game had the best zombies? I would have to say Remake. Do I think Resident Evil 4 professional difficulty is hard? Well, considering I've gotten through it several times already, to me, it's not hard anymore. But my tips for you would stay away from the castle, the zealots with the freaking Morningstar. They are a pain in the ass. They're one of the most difficult standard enemies to deal with, or the ones with the Morningstar. The best You Are Dead. So what? Just the animation You Are Dead, not death? Resident Evil 2. Because it shows the death animation first, splatters blood onto the screen, and then you are dead. Alright. Jeez. Oh shit, we got 9 minutes. God, I need to catch up. What is the best? Am I familiar with Easy Allies video game channel? Nope, never heard of them. My primary and secondary weapon during zombie apocalypse. My primary would be a boomstick shotgun of some sort. My secondary would be probably the Beretta M92, if I could find one. Alright. In Resident Evil 1, the Jill's best ending canon. Yes. Well, the actual canon event is a combination of Chris and Jill's ending. Because in the real timeline, both Barry and Rebecca escape with Chris and Jill and Brad. So, you just gotta combine the best endings. Would I like to see Rebecca get with a slightly older, grizzled, and even more badass Billy Cohen? Yes! I declare that a Resident Evil couple right there. Which virus do I like more, Las Plagas or Ouroboros? Las Plagas. Would I consider getting Resident Evil 4 on the PC just to play through in easy mode? No. I don't need to do that. What is the deadliest Resident Evil virus in the series? Deadliest. I would have to say the G virus. Ugh. If that spread like the T virus or the C virus, we'd be in trouble. My strategy for surviving a real-life zombie apocalypse. Everything that I have in my immediate area, grab anything that could be lethal, and then run to my nearest gun shop. Team up with as many people as I can who are infected, and then just ride it out, I guess. Fuck. Which sniper rifle do I like more in Resident Evil 4? The bolt action or the semi-automatic? Semi-automatic. I've lost my head too many times with that bolt action. Alright, finally I'm caught up. Have I heard of the Resident Evil fan film Resident Evil Red Falls? No, I have not. The worst handgun in Resident Evil 4. The Punisher. In my opinion. Because fully upgraded, it's still the least powerful. Its only use is its piercing ability. My favorite Resident Evil opening. So what, like beginning FMV sequence, like the first cutscene in a game, introduction. I like Resident Evil 4's because it gives you a brief history of the events of Raccoon City. And 6 years later. Kumbaya. Who would win in a melee-only fight? Chris, Jill, Leon, or Ada teamed up? Chris, Jill... I don't know. Wesker's pretty dang good with his virus-induced dodges and stuff. Even slaying a slow-motion fight between him, Sheva, and Chris, and he managed to take on both. 4 people, though? I don't know. Do I feel sad for Lisa Trevor's story? Yeah, quite a bit, actually. Have I ever gotten my head bitten clean off in Resident Evil 4 by a zealot centipede plaga? Yes, actually I have. In my first few times playing it, I did. I was like, oh crap. Alright, 5 minutes. Alright, I better stay ahead, though. Handgun or eggs? Handgun. Which unlockable do I like more? Chicago Typewriter or Infinite Rocket Launcher? Infinite Rocket Launcher, for sure. I have a blast with that thing. Shotgun with unlimited ammo, or Ada's Resident Evil 4 pistol-style crossbow with infinite ammo in a real-life zombie apocalypse. That's a lot of information, but I think that crossbow would be more useful because of its kind of explosive. Bowgun or shotgun? Which bowgun? Like, if it's like a standard bowgun like in Resident Evil 2 and Code Veronica, shotgun all the way. If it's Ada's bowgun in Resident Evil 4, however, I like that bowgun a little more. Helena's hotness on a scale of 1 to 10. 6. What is my favorite funny part in Resident Evil 4? It's when Louis makes us... Like Louis talks about Ashley. Ballistics 2. My favorite female character, Ada Wong. Was I aware that Leon's starting handgun has a real name? Yeah, isn't it called the Silver Ghost? Which Resident Evil 4 handgun do I like more, Matilda or Blacktail? I like the Blacktail more. The Blacktail is my second favorite handgun in Resident Evil 4. Because it loses a little bit of firepower compared to the Red 9, but it makes up in firing speed and capacity greatly. Alright, we got 3 minutes, people. So I would say get your most important questions in right now. Leon with his mercenaries loadout versus Nemesis. You're getting really, like, detailed with these questions here. But, his mercenaries loadout. So that's just a Blacktail and the riot gun. Unless you're talking about 6. You need to be more specific in that case, but 4, that'd be kind of difficult if you ask me. His 6 loadout isn't much better, though, so I'm not sure about that, man. That would kind of be a pain. It'd be a challenge, though. How much of an asshole is Capcom? They're not now, because they did a really good job with Resident Evil 7, in my opinion. With 5 and 6, though, yeah, they will probably be a little dickish with the whole trying to appease the Call of Duty fans, but... Scarcest or Scariest? Was that a typo? Honestly, there you go. Scariest. That's, like, too broad. It's like... I don't know. Choose a game. Did I enjoy Orc a little bit? Sure. If I just think of it as a standalone game, it's a pretty good game. Just when named a Resident Evil game, that's what ticks me off about it. And the fact that you have the option to kill Leon. So, the scariest part in Resident Evil 4 specifically, I would have to say when the Novistadors start showing up, because that music is creepy as hell. Okay, 130 is considered an average IQ. Do you think my IQ is lower or higher than average? What are you implying? I'm pretty intelligent in some things, and then I'm not very intelligent in other things, so I'll just say I'm average. Would I rather deal with Steve or Ashley in real life? Steve. He's not annoying to me. I don't know why a lot of other people think he's annoying. He's just young, so he's sarcastic and kind of dumb in some areas, but he's not annoying like Ashley is, screaming all the time. Alright, Leon's most badass... Oh. Okay, so the last question I'm going to answer is what's my favorite melee weapon from Max Park, because that's the last one that showed up. Okay, so... Leon's most badass quote. I'm really trying on that one. Probably in the very beginning, when he's talking to the two guys he's driving with. It's like, he just goes, I'm sure you guys didn't come all the way out here just to sing Kumbaya together at some Boy Scout bonfire. But then again, maybe you did. Okay. If you like Orc, that's fine. Like I said, I like it as a standalone game, but not as a Resident Evil game. Leon versus Chris, knife and melee only. Who would win? Leon is more flexible with his moves and probably better in a knife fight, so Leon's going to win that one. Do I use the Mind Throw in Resident Evil 4 much at all? Honestly, no, not that much. Chris or Wesker? That's already been answered, Needy. Out of Revelation... Okay, Revelation and Resident Evil 4. I already answered the Resident Evil 4 scariest moment, but Revelation's scariest moment? Shoot. Wasn't too scary to me, to be honest. See, scariest is not a good question for me because I'm like over 20 years old and nothing really scares me that much. There's creepy moments, that's for sure, but scary, no. Maybe when the sea creepers show up. Or when you have to go through the ship underwater. Alright. Can I make an Alfred impression? My grandfather was one of the original founders of Umbrella Inc. I can't go that high with my voice. I don't even know about the SpongeBob mocking theme. Am I hyped for Resident Evil Vendetta? Yeah, I did see the trailer finally, and it's pretty awesome. Alright. I'm on the last question that I decided to answer, because that was the last question asked before my timer went off. My favorite melee weapon. Man, that's pretty vague. But, shit. Let's just go with the stun rod in Resident Evil Outbreak, created by David. I like that thing a lot. Alright, so that's going to be it for me, people. I know there were some more questions asked after that one, but you guys didn't ask before the timer went off, so I'm going to have to cut it off there. So I hope you guys enjoyed that 4th Q&A. I'll see you guys, hopefully I'll see most of you next time in the 5th Q&A. Check back on my channel as much as you can to see the exact time and date it's going to occur on. It's the only way you guys can know in advance, because there is no notification system for planned events. Alright? So, this is Shankster94, aka The Gamer Shankster. Rate, comment, subscribe, of course, and follow me on Twitter and Facebook. I do update those from time to time, so you can see what's happening off camera there. And then, thank you again, Wyatt, for that donation earlier. And, of course, a very special thanks to Marat, Balamza, and Manu Castilla for helping me through Code Veronica. That was really awesome. I will see you all in the next live stream, and of course in the A rank playthrough of Code Veronica X. Peace out.